And this quarterstaff falls into like hundreds of divines range. Hail Kingdom, welcome to Pass of Excel 2 Third Edict. After my recent video where I explained why quarterstaff that is on me that got just 400 DPS on a tooltip will have more damage than this quarterstaff that will have 650 DPS on a trade side. And you can see it pretty easily, we got 110k DPS on a tooltip right now, but with quarterstaff that got more DPS, I got just 50k. Why? Short version, it's just how skills scale. So today I will show you how to craft perfect elemental damage weapons. And yeah, weapons. It will work for bows, crossbows, any weapon that you want to make good elemental weapon when your build is based around one single type of damage, mostly. So if you're playing Ice Strike, for example, or Lightning Arrow, this crafts will work. Every craft will start with a base. You need something to craft on. And there's different ways how you can do it. Basically, I like to just collect white bases and then I will upgrade them myself and then be looking for blue bases. Basically, items with already some mods, and we're looking for good mods. I got quarterstaff with increased elemental damage and increased critical hit chance. And just this blue quarterstaff can go for like 15 divine orbs, so someone can buy it, that's the price. But we will craft on top because it's fun. Or of course you can buy these bases. However, buying them can be not really cheap. For example, increased elemental damage with attacks with a little bit of attack speed can be bought for like 20 exalted orbs, but again, it's not tier 1 rolls, but tier 1 rolls can go for 1 divine orb, and that's quarterstaffs. If you're playing bow, bows are more popular because there's a lot more people playing bows, and for bows, yeah, they go for like 5 divines for these bases. And again, elemental damage with attacks is just not most popular base, that's why it's just 5 divine orbs. But if we look for increased physical damage at the same time, well, just bases will go for 100 divine orbs. Yeah, it is what it is. Don't worry, all crafts today are super average Joe friendly. I guess that's how it's called. Basically, it's super cheap, super easy to craft, and it will give you like insane DPS and insane power without insanely high costs. So today I will make lightning damage elemental weapon. We will check DPS based on this Tempest Flurry. So right now we get 5k, and we want to try to get it up to like 100k, because with gear, with passive tree, you can get exactly these benefits, like increasing your damage almost 2 times. Okay, first step to create the bases is to just get white items like this, and then drop orbs of augmentation and transmutation on top. This will lead us into 2 outcomes, and more on that in a second. Okie dokie. First of all, which orbs we want to use? Greater, normal, or perfect? To understand this, we need to go into PoE2 DB, that's the website, into modifiers section, and into modifiers, and then pick weapons that we are going to craft, or just any item. That's all prefixes and suffixes that can roll on weapon, and if we drop basic orb of transmutation or augmentation, we will get exactly one of these results. So it will roll, for example, prefix, and we got 8 total options that can roll, but also there's more options inside of these rolls, so technically it's around 100 possible results when you're rolling these prefixes. However, if you use better orbs of augmentation or transmutation, they will have minimum modifier level. And this modifier level is actually item level. You can see item level when you hover over weapons, and it's not required level, it's actually when you're highlighting it with Alt button, so item level 82, that's what we're looking for. This means this quarterstaff can roll vaporizing roll, for example, but if item level was 80, then it can't roll this mod, never. So for elemental damage crafts, we're looking for at least item level 81. It's really easy to find. And now look, if we roll everything, again, chance to roll something good is almost 0. But if we take greater orb of transmutation, minimum level will be 55, which basically removes almost any rolls that we don't need. Not for elemental damage, however. So if you want to hit this high elemental damage, and that's what you're looking for, more on that in the craft section, like next section basically will be about what to do with each modifier. We're basically looking for perfect orb, and this will be minimum level of 70. Minimum level 70 will basically remove almost all bad rolls, so we can roll only tier 1 or tier 2 lightning damage. That's why these orbs are so powerful and so good. Another good benefit is actually removing loads of suffixes. So when you look at the weapon, there's loads of suffixes that you probably probably don't want, like reduced attribute requirements, and maximum level for reduced attribute requirements is 60. By dropping this item level 70 orbs of augmentation transmutation, you just remove this from your pool. And by removing it, we actually getting a bunch of really good mods. You can hit +7 level to all melee skills, you can hit like critical damage bonuses tier 1, and that's just very good stuff. So we will do exactly this. We will drop perfect orb of transmutation on every stuff I got in my inventory, and then we will do the same for perfect orb of augmentation. Now we got insane rolls, and we will basically check what we have. So one of Koto stuffs got perfect increased physical damage roll, but bad bottom part. Is this increased physical damage roll bad? Well, no, it's almost perfect. And we can craft a really good weapon with this, but this goes for sale, and these items can be sold pretty easily for like few divines. It depends on weapon. So if you're doing the same stuff with bows, well, this bow will go or like 20 divine orbs. That's how you can get like loads of money basically by doing this. What we're looking for in elemental weapon, basically increased elemental damage, added elemental damage. We're looking for lightning damage for today's craft, but even if it will be, for example, tier 1 cold damage or fire, it's great. Another okayish mod for me is leeching damage as mana, so that's a good mod. Okay, now we're going into second step, and we're basically checking what suffixes and prefixes we have. There can be two situations. It can be a good prefix, for example, or good suffix, and one bad prefix or suffix. Or there can be two mods which is good. You can actually craft on both of these quarter stuffs, and you can make insanely good results. It depending on what exactly you're looking for in the end. Even if you got just one good prefix or suffix, but you're actually looking for this, for example, you're looking for high critical hit chance, you basically don't care what's on top, because you can fracture this mod, and then you can chaos roll another mod, and then you can do like other types of crafting. But these crafts will cost you a lot, and this technically is approach for almost mirror tier weapons. That's not what you want if you're looking for this video. You want just insanely overpowered, but also pretty cheap weapon. So, first of all, you need to visualize and kinda understand what you're looking on your weapon. And when you're building insanely overpowered elemental damage weapon, well, we're getting back to our PoE2 DB and checking what we want on top. For example, for lightning damage weapon, we will want added lightning damage. We want increased elemental damage with the attacks, because it will add to this lightning damage, kinda it will improve this lightning damage, but also there is another modificator in desecrated modifiers. It can give us increased lightning damage, so that's good for just one solo elemental damage build. If you're doing multiple elemental damage attacks, then just forget about it, but we're making like specifically lightning damage weapon. And also there's essences, and there's gain extra damage as lightning damage or any other type of elemental damage. This will work. Honestly, technically the same approach can be done for physical damage weapons, but again, you just change mods. That's my list of what I want to see on the top. So there is mods over here. Now, on the bottom part, I'm looking for level of all melee skills, I'm looking for critical hit chance, that's my best in slot, and then I'm pretty okay with critical damage bonus or increased attack speed. So, let's first of all discuss if we got one good and one bad. Increased elemental damage with attacks is good, but bottom part is bad. There is technically three options that you may have when you're approaching this weapon. Now, should you approach this craft? Well, again, if you want cheap weapon and you can't find anything good on the market right now, then yeah, it's pretty cheap, easy and straightforward craft. You can have insanely overpowered weapon, but there's few problems. So, option number one is to actually use Regal Orb with Omen and then hope for some good outcome. Main problem with this method is we actually benefiting from our tags. Yeah, every upgrade will have tags. As you can see, for example, if you have elemental damage with attacks, you will have damage, elemental and attack tag. And technically when you're dropping perfect Regal Orb, it got a chance to roll really high melee attack skills, it got chance to roll insane attack speed, or even critical hit chance, because it's all sharing attack tag. But also there's damage tag, which can give you critical damage bonus, which can give you lightning damage, or other damage bonuses. Also there's elemental tag that can give you just any random elemental damage added to your attacks, but it also can give you loads of bonuses you don't want. For example, attack tag is also shared in accuracy rating, it also shared in leeching damage as life. Still, it's an option, and I will show you on exactly this weapons. For example, I got this fire quarter staff, I got this lightning quarter staff, and this lightning quarter staff again. All of them got tier 1 added elemental damage on top and bad bottom suffix. Some of them is not very bad. For example, reduced attribute requirements is actually okay for this method, because reduced attribute requirements got no tags. So technically, this quarter staff over here got damage elemental lightning attack tag, so it will roll something good. But if it's leeches physical damage as life, well, it got life tag, and it can roll gain life per enemy killed, and that's bad. That's not what we want. So this method will work like this. Basically, we're taking a regal orb. It can be perfect, it can be basic, it doesn't matter. Honestly, not a lot of players actually using this method. It's not very, let's say, constant. So we need homogenizing coronation omen, and we will try to do this stuff. But again, biggest problem for us is actually that right now there is no omens that can kinda affect the results of whether or not we will get prefixes suffix with regal orbs. They were removed from the game. With these omens, it would be actually great way to build your weapon, but right now it's just random. So let's slam, and we got fire damage. As you can see, there's another problem. We rolled tier 4 fire damage with perfect regal orb. That's because fire damage with perfect regal orb is actually rolling one of these modifiers, so it can roll up to tier 5, which is pretty bad. So let's slam regal orbs over here, and let's see, this one rolled a lot better. We get fire and cold damage at the same time. This got lightning and critical damage bonus, so that's a good one. So if you got a bunch of regal orbs, well, you can actually prepare your weapons like this, and they can give you nice results. We will keep these quarterstaffs for now, but again, it's pretty randomized way to craft, and mostly suitable when you're just trying to fish for some good mods. It can work, maybe you got accuracy on your weapon and you're fishing for some really good attack mod and stuff like that. But mostly it can be used on weapons you don't care a lot. Now, option B. Option B will depend on what type of mod is actually good. For example, you got accuracy rating on top and you don't need it, and you got critical hit chance on bottom and you actually want it. So you got bad prefix but good suffix. In this case, you can go into strategies that will called fill your prefixes or suffixes. Suffixes in this case. We can basically drop essence that will add, for example, attack speed if you already got critical hit chance, or vice versa. We can drop essence for critical hit chance if we got attack speed. Then we will use essence of battle with omen that will remove top part. We will remove bad prefix. So we will remove accuracy rating, and this will make our suffixes look like this. We will have level 2 all attack skills, critical hit chance, and attack speed. Pretty much perfect. And here's the next step. We will use essence of grounding for adding elemental damage, perfect essence of course, and also we will desecrate with desecration omen to get this lightning damage. This will leave us with one last random modifier. So, if you want to actually have cheap crafts, then if you got bad prefix and good suffix, it's pretty hard. Since again, you're kinda investing in the whole craft, but last part is actually random, so we may fail, and there's technically almost no way to fix it. The last step will be just to slam exalt or perfect exalt. That's why weapons with good suffix and bad prefix is actually good when you merging them in Recombinator. And method will be followed. Basically, you're dropping these two weapons and you want to get good suffix that you want combined with good prefix from another weapon. Again, chances can be around like 20%, so 1 out of 5 combinations like this will work. You can use even omens that will increase chances, but they cost a little bit, so you need to kind of determine if it works or not. But just for the sake of showcasing this stuff, let me just turn on this omen, pick physical damage as mana, I really need it, and lightning damage. Chance of success is 36%, but with this omen we will increase these chances by 50%. So 50% of 36 is around 17, and our chance to succeed is actually 50%. That's a good one, and we're lucky. Yeah, we got a weapon. So what to do with a weapon like this? If then use Greater Exalted Orb and get some good random stuff on the bottom part. Ta-da! We got reduced attribute requirements. The next step is to actually desecrate this, and we want to desecrate prefix. This will add green modifier on top, and the next part will be to actually fracture this weapon. At this point we will have 33% chance to succeed. We need to lock lightning damage, then we will be able to remove this modifier with bunch of essence manipulation. I will show it on the next examples. And sorry, in this example actually you want to slam Exalted Orb on top. So you got 2 mods on top that we will remove later with essences. But this will be fixed with a hammer right now. Because again, it's an option that you may take with leftover resource. so you can then know what you can do. Now, if you got good prefix and bad suffix, what you want to do? You want to use greater essence of haste with desecration, and desecration should go on top. Then you want to fracture orb, as I showed you, and you want to fracture good mod in prefix. And in this case, we got 33% chance to fail if we lock reduced attribute requirements. In case we lock elemental damage on top or increased attack speed on bottom, we actually can continue with different strategies. The best case scenario will be to lock elemental damage, then we will use essence with omen that will remove prefix, and it will remove desecrated modifier from top and create level to all melee skills on bottom. On bottom we will still have this bad modifier, and now we need to roll. There's 33% chance to hit this modifier with essence that will give us onslaught on kill, and that's what we can have basically. Perfect modifiers on bottom, like critical hit chance, attack speed, and if we succeed, we will get perfect modifiers on bottom. But if we fail, well, we can actually continue this cycle. So we probably knocked down some good mod on the bottom, we can remove it with another essence, and so on and so on. We can basically desecrate and roll essences. And there is option C. Option B is better, because in the end we will actually try to get insanely high overpowered bonuses on top with help of exalted orbs, with essence, and also with desecration, and we can reroll them a lot more. But this is like a best method if you want just cheap and super good weapon with elemental damage easily. So we got good prefix and bad suffix. We start with essence that will add flat elemental damage, and then we will add essence that will add percent elemental damage, but we will use it with omens that will remove bottom part. Let me show you. Again, this works when you get, for example, elemental damage with attacks, or you're okay with other elemental damages from your essence. Stuff to know at this point that essences will also have their slot. For example, essence that will add flat damage will always go in prefix. Therefore, again, look over here. We get elemental damage with attacks, and we got suffix, and of course we will add one more prefix over here with this essence. Town. We got elemental lightning damage, and this essence give me T4. So T4 is not like perfect, it's not super powerful, but again, that's super cheap craft that you can go and make yourself insanely fast. And it's also pretty cheap. This essence costs nothing if you don't have it yet. Now the problem is that we need to remove bad suffix, and we will do it with perfect essence of electricity. But to actually remove gain life per enemy killed, we need to use omen, and this omen will be called omen of dextral crystallization. Dextral targets suffixes, we will activate it. This costs right now like 14 exalted orbs, almost nothing, and we will remove life per enemy killed and add extra elemental damage on top. How? So that's basically perfect prefixes. Now here's the fun part. This item over here got loads of runes installed, loads of lightning damage, like extra damage, level 2 all attack skills, so it's like pretty powerful one. This got nothing, even no quality. But with good prefixes, it will have just like 20% less DPS. How? You see? 20% less DPS. That's crazy. That's like actually crazy. So this step achieves insanely good stuff. We filled our top part, therefore we don't need fracture. Fracture is pretty costly crafting stuff. So this goes for 70 exalted orb. Again, it's 1/4 of divine right now, so it's not like extremely costly, but it may actually break your crafts if you fracture something wrong. Therefore, that's our algorithm. We will add exalted orb and it will add our suffix modifier. If we don't like it, we will continue into essence removal. So again, we will use omen and essence. We will remove it. Then we will use desecration and exalted orb to fill these suffixes, and then we will try to hit it with Essence of Battle. Essence of Battle will have 33% chance to succeed. Why? Because we will have increased attack speed, for example, from Essence of Haste, it will be in form of Onslaught. Then we will have Desecrated modifier, and also we will have one bad modifier that we just rolled. 33% chance to remove exactly this one, and we will be left with very good weapon. If we miss this modifier, and we hit attack speed, for example, well, there's no essence of attack speed right now, and we can repeat this step. And basically, we will repeat this essence, desecration, and this essence until we hit perfect bottom part. So it looks like this. Step number 1, Exalted Orb. We just pick Greater Exalted Orb, we drop it, and reduce attribute requirements. Yeah, as I told you. Exactly this. Now we're getting Essence. And why it's Essence of Haste? Because it costs right now 20 Exalted Orbs, and Essence of Battle, perfect Essence of course, 22 Exalted Orbs. So right now it actually like doesn't matter. It completely doesn't matter what you do. But sometime different essences can cost different results, and in this method we want to start with cheap one. But to make it even cheaper, again, I could for example drop Essence of Haste right now, but I need to make sure I'm removing this suffix. So I will be forced to use Dextral Crystallization. It costs extra 14 Exalted Orbs. So is this move actually bad? Well, no. It will add a little bit of Exalted Orbs to this craft, but there's another way. You can actually just slam bunch of Exalted Orbs on top, right now. And if all suffixes is filled, the only way Perfect Essence can go is into suffixes. These two essences, of course. So they will be forced to remove one of the suffixes, and basically you can start rolling. But right now we can have 100% chance to actually remove bad modifier with Omen of Dextral Crystallization. And we definitely targeting this attribute requirement. The cool part, after rolling Greater Exalted Orb, like 2 times for example, we can actually hit good modifiers on bottom. And this will lead us into good quality stuff right from the get-go. So that's what I will do. I will actually add this level to all attack skills on bottom with Dextral Crystallization, and pow, we got pretty good quality stuff right now. Right now it will actually improve my damage, so yeah, just this move already makes this quality stuff better. Now again, we can go into Exalted Slam, into Essence, into Desecration, but there is one more thing that we can use. We can use Omen of Homogenizing Exaltation. It, again, kinda increasing cost, but they are a lot cheaper today, because everyone crafted what they wanted, so you don't need them, like a lot of them. It's 58 Exalted Orbs, and this will force Exalted Orb to actually add modifiers of the same type you already have. To showcase stuff that will happen right now, I will go into Craft of Excel 2. This website gives you option to go into Emulator and basically practice what will happen. So what will happen with Homogenizing Exaltation? If we drop Greater Exalted Orb, it can, for example, roll for leeching damage as mana. It can roll for attack speed, pretty good attack speed by the way, again mana, critical damage bonus, it's okay, and life per enemy hit, which is not okay, again mana. So basically if you use Homogenizing Omen right now, we get pretty high chance to roll something good. There's also omens that will make you roll 2 bonuses at the same time, so basically 2 Exalted Orbs for a cost of just 1. They called Greater Exaltation Omens, but here's the catch. When you roll them, there's actually pretty high chance to roll some weird stuff. I don't know if it's confirmed yet or not, but basically when it rolls, it can't roll same mod 2 times. So if you take, for example, attack mod that we have right now, it will roll 1 attack mod, so it can be, for example, leeching damage as life, but then it should pick physical or life, so it can't pick attack anymore. And this will lead us into physical or life, basically 1 more leech. And that's exactly what we see right now. So if we rolled physical damage as life, the next roll will be physical damage as mana. At least in this emulator, and it's always true. As you can see, every time we're using double exaltation, it rolls just these awful bonuses. But if it roll, for example, for attack speed, then it's almost guaranteed critical damage bonus. If it roll for critical hit chance, well, it's again can be rolled into physical damage as mana. But if we do it without homogenizing exaltation, well, it's completely random. You can roll critical damage bonus, you can roll stun duration. So again, it's up to you. If you want to make this craft a little bit higher cost, then exaltation is actually a good choice, because you can roll something good and then you can finish craft with desecration. That's it, you don't need anything else. Let's do exactly this. Pow, physical damage is life, so that's not what we want. That's like bad mod. Now we can roll life, we can roll physical mods, that's not what we want, and we just slam Exalted Orb on top, and we got life per enemy killed. So that's again risks that you don't need to take all the time. And now what you want to do is to actually hit these 2 mods with essences. Essence of Haste, it's completely random. We get 33% chance to remove level of all attack skills, but it's just 33%, we just hit it. And we're going basically into a loop. So now we're trying to hit level of all attack skills, we hit, and now again it's 33% chance to hit with desecration this life per enemy killed. So right now we got 66% chance to fail and 33% chance to hit. We failed again. We keep on slot, so we can go with battle. Oh jeez, I just trashed the craft. Yeah, whenever you do this stuff, you always combine preserved Jobon with Omen that targets suffixes. So again, it's pretty cheap, it's Dextral Exaltation, and basically you're keeping the same loop. I just forgot to turn it on, and we trashed this craft with this awful top part. But anyway, craft will end in Well of Souls, where you go and try to find out what you will reveal. I got extra cold damage, that's fine. Again, even this weapon will already increase my damage. With quality with runes, it will increase it even more. But again, you want to actually remove this bad suffix and you will be left with a really good weapon after you hit all essences and stuff. Overall craft cost for a weapon like this will be less than Divine, maybe 1/3 of Divine. And again, you will be left with pretty good lightning damage or any other elemental damage weapon. However, we want more. And for more, you want to have 2 good rolled mods. For example, I'm okay with leeching damage as mana, that's fine for my quarterstaff. So this weapon will be pretty good for showing you this meta. We have flat damage on top. So these 3 quarterstaffs actually got good mods. This got increased elemental damage and critical hit chance, this got elemental damage and attack speed, and this got flat damage and critical damage bonus. Let's actually start with this one, with increased elemental damage and attack speed. Again, in this example, we're looking for a weapon with mods that we already want, so they are at least on our list over here. Since there's different ways how we can add suffixes with essences. In my case, I got attack speed, and in any case, if we got critical hit chance or attack speed, we can add different essence. Essence of attack speed actually will give you this exact tier 2 roll. As you can see, it's 23 to 25% increased attack speed. That's why starting with critical hit chance is a lot better, since critical hit chance essence can only add from 3 to 3.8 critical hit chance. Well, if we got attack speed, we got no other choice than to add this essence. Pow, we got critical hit chance. The next step is to desecrate prefix. So we will need preserved rip and we will need omen to make sure we're desecrating prefix. I mean, to desecrate weapon you need Jobon. So pow, we got desecrated prefix. Now here's the hardest step. We need to actually fracture good mod, and we need to fracture prefix. And that's where kinda good weapons start to split into 2 parts. We either hit good prefix or we don't. Let's talk about bad situation first. So, if we're not hitting this prefix with fracturing orb that will lock it, we need to play 50-50 game. This means we will have locked attack speed or critical hit chance, but still we need to remove this green stuff. To remove this green stuff, well, we will need to use essence with omen and hope it will not remove increased elemental damage with attacks or other good mod. That's 50-50, so we need to win this roll. 50% chance to lose, 50% chance to win. Then again we get kinda split. So if we lose, we can just slam exalted orbs until we will fill all prefixes, then we will slap essence of lightning and hope it will remove something bad, then we can desecrate if it removed the desecration and hope it will remove something bad again and maybe we rolled something good again. So basically it's kinda little gamba at the end. You can lose this gamba and get like okay-ish weapon. If we win this roll and we actually hit bad modifier on top, then we again using this essence, but right now it will be 100% chance to remove it and we will have perfect suffixes. Then we will add exalted orb. If it rolls something bad, we will use essence again with omen and we will remove top part to have 100% chance to get this lightning damage. So 100% chance, this means basically it can't fail. And then you desecrate modifier and it's 99% chance that you will get what you want. There's slight chance, I got it once per like 200 crafts maybe, that I rolled 2 times and for some reason it didn't show. Maybe I messed up, so probably it's like 100% chance. Basically this crafting method gives you insanely cool weapon, super overpowered weapon, and there's only one gamba point. It's 50-50 fracturing point. That's why this method is super easy, cheap and very powerful. So we will craft these 2 guys at the same time. This got critical hit chance again. On this base I'm looking for attack speed and tada, we got it. Then we're looking to desecrate prefix modifier, so tada. we got it, 100% chance, and now we're fracturing. So again, 33% chance to fracture elemental damage with attacks. Pow, we're lucky. Again, we're not lucky. We will work with this later. For now, let's keep this. So we got pretty good quad stuff, and we are lucky. Next step, as I told you, if we are lucky, is to actually add Essence of Battle. And now we're making sure we're removing prefix modifier. This green will be removed, fractured mode can't be altered, so it's locked. So we're basically just making sure we're removing prefix. We don't need to mess up. Pow, it's removed. We got perfect suffixes. Now we need to fix top part. Again, it's done pretty easily. Let's check our plan. It's just Exalted Orb and Essence on top if needed. For this role, we kinda can use Homogenizing Omen, but again, as I told you, there's super high chance to roll something bad, not really like powerful mods. Then basically again, it's not needed. Greater Exalted Orb is everything you need. Pow! Accuracy rating, tier 1. Again, tier 1, but it's trash for our build. Therefore, again, we're taking Essence of Electricity. Pow, we're getting this. And we're making sure we will remove prefix again. So this will remove prefix modifier, double checking, and pow. Now we get extra damage as lightning damage. And last step is to desecrate this to get perfect mod. Perfect mod is this extra lightning damage, and it's Ulaman mod. So you need to make sure you're rolling Ulaman modifier. To do it, we need Omen, and this will be Omen of Sovereign. You should get it already from green guys. So we activate this, we will desecrate, and it will go into free slot. So if your prefixes is not filled, it always go in a free slot. Pow, we got it. Now, technically, it's 100% chance to see this mod. But as I told you, in my experience, I missed one time. In my experience, at least. Maybe I messed up something. So, Omen of Abyssal Echoes is just safety measure to not mess up this item. This item is pretty good, and this Omen is 68 Exalted Orbs. Our total price cost for exactly this item is less than half of Divine, so we can afford it. Let's see what we will have. Pow, increased lightning damage. As I told you, it should be 100% chance. It's penetration of lightning and increased lightning damage. So this Omen is actually not needed, but it's just safety measures. What's up with this weapon? Well, it will increase our damage even more, so it's 6.3k right now, but it will be increased even more when we add quality and runes, and it will increase by significant amount. It's insane how much it will be increased actually. This type of weapons goes into like 10-15 divine range in terms of price, or at least few divines. It gives you pretty good power. You can do the same for lightning, for ice, or for fire build. Now, what we can do with this weapon? That we failed our lock on. As I told you, it's again basically trying to play 50-50 with Essence of Battle. But before doing this, it's a nice idea to just reveal modifier. Let's see what we got. So we're revealing this stuff, and we got pretty low rolls of everything. We need to find out what is okay-ish roll maybe for this weapon. And actually there's none of them, so it doesn't matter. And we're playing 50-50. Right now we will have 50% chance to remove fire damage and get perfect suffixes. If we're lucky again, it's another 50-50 and then desecration. If we're not lucky, well, it's complete gamba. But here's the cool part. So we got like 50% chance to remove elemental damage with attacks, we got 50% chance to remove fire damage. How we can improve our chances to actually not remove elemental damage with attacks? It's super simple. We need to use one more Greater Exalted Orb and make sure we're dropping it into prefixes with the help of Omen of Sinistral Exaltation. So this Omen with this Exalted Orb will give us one more prefix modifier. Well, we got cold damage. Now we get two modifiers that we don't need, but we don't care. Right now it's not 50% chance to remove elemental damage with attacks. Right now it's just 33% chance to remove it and 66% chance to hit something bad. Now we removed something bad. That's perfect. And now fun part, again, we can kinda play the same game. And we don't even need Omen right now, because free slot is in prefixes. So we will try to hit something good, and we hit a little bit of lightning damage, that's fine. And now again, it's like 33% chance to hit something bad with Essence of Electricity. So we're trying to hit this fire damage. Pow, it's removed. Technically this weapon is already good, it's done. This extra critical hit chance, increased attack speed, level 2 all attack skills, and even low lightning damage is not a big problem. And this weapon will give us 7.4 DPS, so it's like the best weapon we crafted today. Again, this critical hit chance tier 1 is just too good. The only problem is low rolled lightning damage, and there's again ways to fix it. One of them is to play 50-50 right now with Desecration. And it's even not 50-50. You got just 33% chance to hit lightning damage, but you got 33% chance to extra lightning damage and elemental damage with attacks. If we hit extra lightning damage, it's not a problem, since we can try to drop this essence again, but it's just complete gamba. If you don't want to risk this weapon, there is ways, but they will cost a little bit more. We will need to use Omen of Whittling. This Omen goes for like 1 Divine Orb, or a little bit more, and this Omen will force Greater Chaos Orb, or Perfect Chaos Orb, I don't have it right now, Greater is fine, to remove lowest item level modifier. However, be careful if you got modifiers which is desecrated, they never highlighting those for some reason, and you can remove them actually, and they could be really good. But that's basically a way to fix something and try to hit something good. Problem, we can hit accuracy, so it can make item really bad. If we hit tier 1 accuracy, there's no way to remove it basically, but if we hit some good like elemental damage, it will be great. So let's try it. Pow! We hit physical damage and accuracy, and it instantly makes our weapon worse. So that's again kind of gamba that you can take, but you don't want to take always. At this point we're using our favorite Jabon and we're playing 33% chance. There's 33% chance to remove physical damage and accuracy. Pow! We hit it. And of course you want to do it with Omen of Sovereign to guarantee Ulaman modifiers. This will guarantee us this lightning damage and magnitude of shock, and again it's true for lightning damage, but for other types of damage you're using different modifiers, maybe it's Kurgular, but basically this weapon right now is pretty good. As you can see, damage is even lower than previous weapon which got insane added lightning damage, but in the end with correct passive skill tree you will get insanely good weapon. Okay, we just recombined this. I am slammed suffix on bottom. Now we can use essence to remove suffix, I mean Omen of course, and essence that will add extra lightning damage. Pow! We got it. So this kind of stuff is actually amazing. Now it's time to fix bottom part, and it's done as always with Greater Exalted Orb on bottom, Dexterity, not something we're looking for, Omen to remove suffix and essence of battle. Pow! We got what we want, and now it's 9k DPS quota stuff, dropping Exalted Orb again and again. And now we're playing this awful game of rolling essences on bottom part and trying to hit suffixes that we don't need. Making sure Omen is actually active, I don't want to trash this, so we got Omens that will remove suffixes, we got Jabons, and for this we're not using any modifiers of Ulaman, Amanamu or Kurgular because I don't need the Spirit Reservation and other stuff. If you need it, well, you know what to do. So we will go with basic modifiers. Let's try to hit Dexterity. We missed, but it doesn't matter. Most importantly, we still have +6 to level of all attack skills. So I got a bunch of essences and we will play 33% game right now. I got 33% chance to hit with Essence of Haste into Dexterity, and that's what we are hoping for. Pow! We missed. What to do right now? We got this green modifier, so we can't use Jabon. We're trying to hit with Battle. For Dexterity, pow! We missed. Again, Haste, pow! We hit. That's it. So as you can see, on average it takes a bunch of attempts. If we hit green modifier, we try to hit with Jabon again. On average, again, it's like 5 or 9 attempts to actually hit it. And we got perfect prefixes, perfect suffixes. As you can see, damage with this extra lightning damage to attacks is actually insane. That's why this quota stuff is like so good and valuable. But before revealing it, always we activating Abyssal Echoes. Because, well, this quota stuff is great and we want to hit something good on bottom part. Now, let's see what we will have. We got stun duration, attribute requirements, complete waste. So we're rerolling and we got 3.65% chance to critical hit chance. That's golden, and we got it. So this good stuff will have more than 10k damage. You may think it's slow, but well, my passive skill tree just got attributes so I can wear items on this character. And we got no weapon and we got like basically nothing. No support gems. Skill level is actually 19, so it's not too low, but just by adding basic lightning damage runes on top and quality, we're already at 12k DPS. And this kind of stuff falls into like hundreds of divines range. It's pretty good. We just crafted this quota stuff with full tier 1 modifiers, beside critical hit chance, for around 2 divines. I guess you understand now how to craft perfect elemental weapons, but if you want to have perfect armors, rings, boots, helmets and gloves, watch video on the screen right now and see you there.